Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello and welcome to the Red Lasered Water Guy Show. We're back. Joe Blanton here. I'm the Red Laser Guy. And we're here to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. That's what it's all about. The body has to do the healing. You know, there's a time and a place for surgeries and even prescriptions once in a while. But the body has to do the healing. And when we give it the frequencies it needs, give it what it needs, and get out of its way, it's really good at healing itself. So like, for instance, if you get some kind of an illness or discomfort or disease and you take a prescription, the body has to recover from the prescription and heal what you got going on at the same time, because the two conflict each other. The prescriptions are a lot lower vibration, and that's why they have side effects and stuff like that. So what we're going to talk about today, again, is structured water. Structured water is wetter water, and the wetter your water is, the healthier you are. You know, wetter water is better health. And so that's what we're going to talk about, along with using sea salt. Salt is the third most critical thing in your body. Salt is used in so many different ways, which we're going to cover that tonight in the show. So we're going to help you discover how to affect change in your biological cellular self on purpose, you know, to where you take proactive charge of helping your body heal itself naturally. So DJ, if you bring up the slides, we'll get started here. All right. Okay, here we are again. Pure Vibrance is the company that I'm working with, because in over 40 years of being in holistic wellness, I haven't found anything that is more calibrated at helping the body heal itself, because frequencies are the bottom line, and self-care for self-healing is what we're all about here in Pure Vibrance, is having the tools with you to where you can, you know, work with your body all day long to help keep the vibration higher, keep circulation better, microcirculation, more oxygen, and everything working better for the body to take care of itself naturally. So again, Joe Blanton here. You can get a hold of me at joe@theredlaserguy.com, or one of the best ways to just give me a call, 469-766-5511. Give me a call or text, and we can answer all your questions. Because what we're going to talk about tonight is the quality of your life is determined by the quality and the quantity of your water. Every function in your body requires water. And so that's why it's so important. So water filtration processes that have, the purpose of cleaning drinking water also destructure water molecules in the process. Because water in nature is structured water. The Rocky Mountain streams coming through the aquifers, down through the rocks and stuff like that in the ground into the reservoirs that feed springs, things like that. That's the vortexing and the movement. And then the Earth's energy. The Earth has electrons, it helps charge the water as it's flowing through. And then when it's exposed to the sun, it's exposed to even more charge from the red and infrared light. And so the destructured water is one of the challenges we have that's not allowing us to hydrate our body as the nature intended. So when the water is no longer structured in the way it was intended by nature, the health of your cells suffer, because the water is not microclustered. It's bigger molecular clumps that don't hydrate the body through osmosis as freely. Then the body has to work hard to structure the water. When you drink water that's bottled water, tap water, anything that's unstructured, the body has to work hard to structure it before it can really use it fully. Specifically, the protein molecules within your cells don't work the right way. and this can negatively impact muscular and tissue functioning, just simply because it doesn't have the freedom and the higher vibration to work with your body at the optimal wellness frequencies. So your body's over 70% water. Your blood's 90 over, it's 94% water. Your brain's 78% water, and your eyes are 98% water. So it's pretty clear that water is really, one of the most important things that we can have. Without water, there is no life. And so that's real important. So to understand what the potential benefits of structured water might be, it helps to first grasp how water works within our cells. Okay, water is an important building block in every single cell in our body. There's trillions of cells. Depending on who you listen to, there's 30 trillion, 40 trillion, the number varies. But water is in every cell in your body, and water is critical for the functioning of the mitochondria. The mitochondria actually produce its own what they call EZ water, exclusion zone water, where it excludes any protons and keeps the negative water next to the mitochondria, which helps in charging it and helps produce more of the ATP. So the actual structure of your cells is something like a matrix that is made up of different acids, some of which are proteins, and between the acids is where the water is held, essentially bridging the gap. All of the water molecules in our cells hold electrical charge, and whether it's positive or negative, oppositely charged water molecules line up next to one another, just like in a battery, negative and positive. Electrons and protons. So initially, water gets its charge from the sunlight or heat in the environment and then stores it in our cells. So that's real important right there, because the sunlight, you've heard me talk about that before, our red and infrared laser, all of our lasers actually duplicate or replicate sunshine, because sunshine is what charges the water in our body. The water on the earth, everything is charged with negative electrons, more electrons, and then the water holds that charge until it's needed in our cells. So what is structured water? Okay, structured water is also known as hexagonal water because it forms a hexagonal structure in the water. And structured water looks like the one on the right. On the left, we have unstructured water, all right? And then on the right, we have the structured water, which is hexagonal structure that, nature creates on its own. So the chemical formula for water, like tap water and bottled water, is H2O, all right? When you structure water, it's H3O2. So there's an extra hydrogen atom and there's an extra oxygen atom in structured water. And so this is, real clear to see here. So that's why I wanted to bring the visual in. Structured water is much more stable, holds more energy charge, and it's microclustered also, so that it starts to hydrate the body through osmosis instead of having to be digested. When you drink tap water, bottled water, any water that's been destructured, the body still has to work with it, but it has to start, it goes through the digestive process and then starts breaking it down to where the body can use it. So it doesn't hydrate through osmosis like structured water. True structured water, when you drink it, you actually feel it hydrating the body from the mouth and the upper stomach through osmosis, because it doesn't have to be digested. So when our cells, water molecules are optimally charged, this can potentially impact how muscles and tissue throughout the body works. All right, and that's the charge we're talking about in the water in the cells. Dr. Gerald Pollack of the University of Washington is one of the leading authorities in the field of structured water. He believes that water is profoundly impacted by light and heat generating sources found in nature, which change the molecular composition of the water we drink and store within our bodies. And so that's, again, coming back to nature. Nature, structures water, microclusters it, and gets it ready for the consumption by animals and plants. Everything that's alive thrives better on structured water. So structured water might also have the optimal pH that can help us stay healthy. And the theory is that structured water molecules held within our cells might have a higher level of electrical charge in a specific order that helps the body function. Again, nature knows best. The body's very intelligent. It knows exactly what to do, when it has to go to work to change the water we drink, or if it's got water that's already structured like nature intended to work within our body. So what are some of the benefits of drinking structured water? There are experts such as Dr. Pollack believe that structured water acts like a power source that can help us stay maximally hydrated. And that's the key right there, staying maximally hydrated. Because of the many roles that water and hydration have in the body, structured water is said to potentially benefit energy levels. You have a higher energy level because you're hydrated, and every function of the body takes water. The muscle movement, everything takes water. Water is what lubricates your knees, your joints in your body, your knees, your ankles, your toes. Every joint in your body is lubricated by water. So the energy level in the water is determining your overall energy level in your body. So it benefits digestion and regularity. Takes water. The best way to digest is to drink water, before a meal, because then the water has a chance to get into your body and come back into the lining of the stomach, so that when you do eat, the water's right there to mix with the acids and help or make the acids to digest your food and keep it moving through the body. If you got any kind of constipation, that's dehydration is the start of constipation. So it's really critical. Enzymes that help us with nutrient absorption. Having water that can carry the nutrients, the enzymes, through the blood into our cells is critical. And structured water has the ability to do that better than non-structured water. So concentration, the brain gets the majority of the blood and the energy and everything is dominated by the brain, because the body has a drought mechanism. It has its own drought system. So you get started being dehydrated. The more dehydrated you are, the body starts to delegate water and cut some functions off from having water. But the brain gets, the lion's share of it, if you will. So when you have better circulation and more oxygen and everything, and which microclustering water gives you that, then you have better concentration, muscle contraction. Every movement in your body takes water. And so the muscles are no exception. Positive moods. It can help keep you in a better mood because everything's functioning better. You got more life force energy. The ability to sleep well. Hydration will help you sleep. Blood pressure and cholesterol levels are balanced out better because, again, you've got everything moving, everything's functioning. Respiration, you're breathing easier. People have trouble breathing. For instance, asthma, which I had as a child, okay? And I healed it all in my 20s. Had asthma, hay fever, sinuses, allergies. I was sick all the time. And so I healed all that holistically in my 20s. So people with asthma, we exhale out, just the couch potato is going to exhale out 1/3 to 1/2 a quart of water a day, because every time you exhale, you're breathing out moisture. And so people that have the label of asthma, they're so dehydrated that the body's trying to hold on to that water. And because it takes water for the function of the lungs to exhale, and then you have to have, the body's wanting to keep that water. And so that's why asthma starts to choke up kind of my rough version of how to say it. We'll put it that way. So endurance, the endurance can be, water for our body is the gasoline and the oil for a car. Okay, it's both. And so we have to have the lubrication, we have to have the fuel. And water is what carries that fuel, that energy. And the lubrication of our joints and stuff. So when you're fully hydrated, then you have better endurance. Weight control, excess weight can be not enough hydrated body, not enough water in your body, not enough free water for the body to flush out toxins. So if you don't have enough water and the body doesn't have enough energy to get the toxins out of your body, it has to wrap those some of those toxins up in fat and store it in the cellular structure to keep it from killing you or hurting you, damaging you more, because it's toxic. It's a toxin for the body, like sugar. Okay, sugar is toxic to our body. So kidney and liver function, okay, kidney and liver health. Those are two critical ones. And so, you can't go very long with too much dehydration until where your kidneys really start to suffer, and so does your liver. Every function in the liver requires water. And, the liver is one of the main things for helping us detox and keep us healthy. Joint health, we talked about that earlier. The disc in your back are lubricated and inflated with water, nothing else. Okay, and so as you become more dehydrated, you start to lose that wedge in your spine, and then you start, the body starts coming forward, and you start having more back pain and stuff like that. Most pain in the body initially will be from dehydration, and pain. My definition of pain is lack of oxygen on a cellular level. And so without enough circulation and enough oxygen in your blood, which both of those are reduced with dehydration, then that's where the pain starts to come in. The other definition I've heard is there's not enough fluid, there's not enough hydration, not enough movement in the body to get the toxins away from the cell. And so then the body starts to send pain signals also, because there's a buildup of toxins in the cell that normally would be flushed out with the blood and the hydrated body. So ways to stay hydrated. Okay. Anybody interested in staying hydrated? Well, number one is to drink enough water. All right. There's lots of different ideas here, but the most stable one seems to be to drink about half of your body weight in ounces of water. And the other way is you can eat more fruits and eat more vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, like the celery, romaine lettuce, spinach, those green leafies that grow in real earth and get sunshine. They have structured water in them. And I guess some of the fruits do too. I haven't thoroughly looked into that yet, but some of the fruits have a lot of sugar in them too. So you have to kind of watch that. But more fruits and vegetables can help you stay, because a part of that water ends up helping to hydrate the body after it's digested. So balance of electrolytes. There's a lot of electrolytes in fruits and vegetables if they're grown organically. Some of the ones that are, grown where the soil's depleted won't have as much, but every little bit helps. And then supplement electrolytes. You always want to make sure you have plenty of electrolytes in your body. And we can talk about salt and some of the trace minerals you can add into your water to make that happen also. So consume raw sea salt, helps you balance your water and potassium levels. And salt helps create an osmotic balance in your blood that holds water in the blood. If you don't have enough osmotic pressure there, you can actually pee out the water instead of it staying in your blood to hydrate your body. So that's critical also. We'll cover that a little bit more here in a minute. Exercise, okay? Exercise, when you exercise, you're going to exhale more water out of your lungs, but you're going to increase circulation. That's going to give you more nutrition into your cells. And so that's, exercise is one of the best things you can do. You get more oxygen into your body, you get the movement, better circulation, And so exercise is critical actually for being fully hydrated. And then avoid dehydrating beverages, sugary drinks, sugary foods, alcohol, and caffeine. All of these dehydrate your body because, again, they make you flush out more water than you take in with them. And so that's one of the major, well, it is a major cause. A lot of the beverages are loaded with caffeine. Caffeine's addictive. You want more of it. It gives you false signals on whether you're thirsty or hungry. And so there's some major problems there. So avoiding the dehydrating beverages is a biggie, and that's one of the hardest ones, I guess, for most people. It took me a while, but I finally got away from all of them. And so we'll switch over here to sea salt now. This is an article I wrote several years ago, 20 years ago, called 17 Vital Functions of Sea Salt in the Body, Unprocessed Raw Sea Salt. And this is available in a blog on my laseredwater.com website or my Helps You Heal website. Both of them have this in a blog. So salt, with all the natural inherent minerals intact, performs many critical functions within the body. Here's just a few. Okay, and again, the key is unprocessed sea salt has the minerals and stuff we need in our body from like 74 to 82, depending on which sea salt that you're eating or using. So number one, a shortage of water and salt suppresses the immune system. And think about it. When you're short on water and when you're dehydrated, your blood's more relayed, sticky, and so your white blood cells, your immune system's locked up in that sticky relayed blood, and so it's not free to move. And then when that blood goes through the lungs, only the part of the red blood cell that's sticking out, that's exposed, gives up any toxins and picks up any oxygen. The part that's stuck together doesn't do either one because it's not exposed to the air in the lungs or the process of the lungs. And so the immune system and its disease-fighting cell activity in the body are suppressed. Sea salt helps in alkalizing the cells of our body by facilitating excretion of the excess acids through urination. This helps in keeping the body in an alkaline state. So that's a mouthful right there. But sea salt and water are two of the most critical things in your body. So it's like sea salt, water, and oxygen. None of them function without the other two. It's really that simple. So salt is most effective in stabilizing irregular heartbeat. And contrary to the misconception that it causes high blood pressure, it is absolutely essential for the regulation of blood pressure, all right, to keep it normal. In conjunction with water, naturally the proportions are critical. You don't want too much water and you don't have enough osmotic pressure, too much sea salt and not enough water, and you can have too much salt. So, but right, in our society, we don't have to really worry about that because we've been conditioned incorrectly to be off of salt. And I have a great story here of a friend of mine, a realtor back in Indiana, that had been having AFib for like 2 to 3 years. And the doctors had given him all kinds of stuff. None of it helped. And he was set up to go in the hospital to get a shot or some kind of a deal in a few weeks. A major thing where he had to be in a hospital for a couple of days, and then he had to get it each year. And so I told him about sea salt and told him if he took, 1.5 teaspoons, 2 teaspoons a day through the day in his water, on his food, on his tongue, and wash it down. A great way to do sea salt is put a pinch on your tongue, let it dissolve. First, take a drink of water, and then put it on your tongue, let it dissolve, and then wash it down. Anyhow, he took my information, went and got him some sea salt, and 2 days later, didn't have any more AFib. And that was 5 years ago. And he carries the salt with him. He salts everything, okay? And he likes the taste of it better. So that's, what the possibility there. It's a real life story. And so Salt is a vitally needed element in the treatment of diabetics. All right. It helps balance the blood sugar in the body and reduces the need for insulin in those who have to inject the chemical, to regulate their blood sugar levels. Water and salt reduce the extent of secondary damage associated with diabetics or diabetes. So salt or lack of salt and dehydration are two of the starting causes of somebody becoming, what they call diabetic. So salt is vital for maintaining muscle tone and strength. Lack of bladder control in those who suffer from involuntary leakage of urine could be a consequence of low salt intake. Because again, salt is critical for every function of the muscle. You can't, even flex a muscle or move a muscle without having the elements of sea salt for those signals and for the muscles to move, along with being hydrated. So salt is vital for absorption of food particles through the intestinal walls. Again, salt has got so much value to it. The salt and the trace minerals in the salt, which on table salt, all those trace minerals have been stripped, so that it only has sodium and chloride. So salt is vital for the clearance of the lungs of mucus plugs and sticky phlegm, particularly in asthma and cystic fibrosis. So salt again is critical, for the clearing of lungs and breathing. Salt is vital for cleaning up catarrh and congestion of the sinuses. And again, that goes right along with the lungs, being able to clear all that up. So salt is a strong natural antihistamine, which, when you do it naturally, the body knows how to handle it. It's not about taking, more of the advertised drugs for it. Salt is essential for the prevention of muscle cramps. So if you start getting muscle cramps, it's two things. It's dehydration and lack of the trace minerals and the minerals that are needed for the body to communicate and function without, having muscle spasms. So, okay, salt is vital to prevent excess saliva production to the point that it flows out of your mouth during sleep. Needing to constantly mop up excess saliva indicates salt shortage. And so I went through that one myself like 25 or 30 years ago when I found out, about salt. And I read Dr. Bat McGoldrich's book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And that's where a lot of this information comes from, is from Dr. Bat McGoldrich's book, Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And the subtitle is, You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. So salt is absolutely vital to making the structure of bones firm. Osteoporosis in a major way is a result of salt and water shortage in the body. Your bones are about 27% salt. And so that's how critical salt is. And the more depleted you are of salt, the softer your bones get and easier. And that's when the osteoporosis and all that stuff sets in. So salt is vital for sleep regulation. It is a natural hypnotic. Salt on the tongue will stop persistent dry coughs. I've known several people that have had, this dry cough. My mom was one of them. And salt on the tongue will take care of that, because then you got to wash it down with more water. So again, you're not just getting salt, but you're starting to get more water in your system too. Even if it's regular water, if it's structured water, it's microclustered, ionized and energized and programmed, it'd be even better. But, if you just have to do bottled water and tap water or whatever, that's okay too. It'll help keep you healthier. Salt is vital for the prevention of gout and arthritis. It's just really amazing, how you can talk to somebody and tell them, that arthritis is a sign of dehydration and not enough salt, and it just never seems to register that could be. But if you think about it, your joints are where a lot of the friction is, and if you don't have enough water in there, you start to wear those joints out because you're missing the lubrication. It'd be like not having enough oil in your engine in your car. Okay, you start to run metal to metal if you don't have enough oil. And in your body, the water is the oil, it's the fluid, and the joints all have built-in meniscus and stuff, for lubrication. But if you're not lubricating it, then it starts to wear out too. And now you've got the wearing parts, the whatever fragments are still in the joint because you don't have enough water enough to flush them out, or for the body to carry them out into like it's supposed to, the toxins and stuff. So, and then gout is a lot of the cause of that is alcohol. So I know people that drink a lot of beer, and they've got gout. And so, and it takes water to flush all that out. Because beer, again, is an alcohol. It's dehydrating and causing less hydration. So salt is vital for maintaining sexuality and libido. Again, every function of the body takes water, and salt is the signal. Salt is like the electric wire, the telephone wire of the body, if you will. The trace minerals in sea salt are what the body uses to communicate cell to cell through the water in the body, in the blood. It's, so it's the cells communicate electrically through the trace minerals in the blood, which come from sea salt, and, having enough hydration for that to take place. So salt is vital for preventing varicose veins and spider veins on legs and thighs. Salt is vital to the communication and information processing nerve cells the entire time that the brain cells work from the moment of conception to death. That's what I was talking about. The communication path is through minerals and trace minerals, etc., electrolytes in our body. That's how the body communicates cell to cell through the nerve cells. So, and again, the brain never stops, so nor does the heart, so that you're communicating all the time, and that's using the life force energy in the body, and so it needs to be lubricated well and have plenty of the electrolytes and the minerals, and etc. So salt is the master controller of all the other minerals, controls the movement of a lot of the molecules in our body. So salt is, again, kind of the masterpiece here. So the information from these 17 points were excerpted from the writings of Dr. Batman Galdage. He's the author. Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And again, if you want to get the book, it's Your Body's Many Cries for Water. The subtitle is You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. And where he's coming from here is when you're dehydrated, the signal of being thirsty versus being hungry is so close together, most people don't realize which one it is, so they go get something to eat. And so the key to changing this all over and starting to shift it is when you think you're hungry, go have a big glass of water and then see if you're still hungry. Number one, you may not be hungry at all at that point, but number two, if you do go eat, then you're probably not going to eat as much because you just had a big glass of water. And that big glass of water is going to help you digest your food better, because if you give it a little time, it'll come back into the layers of the stomach. So it's there to help you with the digestion. So unprocessed sea salt contains about 75 essential ionic minerals that the body needs. Common table salt has only 2, sodium and chloride. And table salt has an aluminum added to it normally as a non-caking agent. And aluminum is not one of the minerals we need, especially in that form. So the body needs 1 to 2 teaspoons of unprocessed sea salt daily, and it needs to be through the day, on your food, on your tongue, in your water, all day long, every day. Because it's not like your car where you can fill up the gas tank today and then not drive it for 3 days, okay? We need excess water or free water in our body all the time that the body can draw on when it needs. So it's like if you go to work out, you know, you want some free water that the body's able to draw on during that exercise period. So you just take a drink of water, big drink of water, and put 1/8 a teaspoon or so, a pinch of the unprocessed sea salt on your tongue, and then let it dissolve and wash it down with another big drink of water. And it's life-changing if you got any kind of discomfort at all. So I prefer the Redmond's real salt from an underground mine. It's not been exposed to a lot of the pollutants. It has the highest vibration that we've tested and the fewest heavy metals. So another thing to consider. So energy, we must have sustainable energy to keep our bodies going and healthy. Unprocessed sea salt is the body's matrix system for transporting energy throughout the entire human organism. So again, the salt is critical, and the minerals and stuff in it to transport the energy from point A to point B. You can't even create a thought or move your body without the trace minerals in sea salt, unprocessed sea salt, because everything functions, you know, through that matrix of communication. It all comes down to good communication, whether it's at work, at home, or in your body. It's all about communication. It's like kinesiology. It's called muscle tested, and it's called kinesiology. But what it's about is being able to communicate, your brain being able to communicate with your body in the presence of stress with, you know, what's going on in your environment. So it's like when you push down on somebody to see their strength level, that's the brain's ability to communicate to the muscles to hold you into that position and how strong they are. Okay, so you're applying stress. And then, for instance, you can put a carrot on somebody's hand, and they'll get stronger because the carrot, the body knows how to recognizes that information and can still communicate. When we do demonstrations with the red laser or any of our products, you know, we do that test. I call it a neurological test, because what we're testing is the brain's ability to communicate with the muscle under stress. So we do the test, get a reference on what it takes to pull somebody off balance. Then we put them in the energy of the red laser or any of our products. Now, and they go over easy the first time because the brain can't keep communicating to the muscles under stress. So when we put them in the energy of the red laser or one of our products, now the brain can communicate totally with the muscles, and they're strong as a rock. Can't move them at all. And the reason is, we've been able to bring the body's biofield into a tighter resonance, where the body and the biofield are communicating better, and the biofield's protecting the body better. And then in that case, we've also in seconds added 30% more life force energy into the blood, separated blood into free flowing, better microcirculation, more oxygen. All that takes place in 30 seconds or so. Now the brain can communicate totally with the muscles, and they're strong as they can be. So that's kind of how it works, okay? In a long circular way there. So anyhow, healing. Salt plays a big part in self-healing by helping your body to digest your food and turn it into living tissues, as well as helping to transmit nerve impulses that contract your muscles. Okay, so it's all part of healing also. Salt is amazing. So balance. In order for your cells to function normally, a salt and water balance must be maintained. Okay, so again, you don't want to take more than you need, but you got to play with that and find out what your balance is, water and food. So alkalinity. Salt and water are also necessary for making the sodium bicarbonate your body needs to alkalize the food we eat, for maintaining the alkalinity of your blood and lymph fluids. the lymph fluid is something a lot of people never think about. But again, your lymph fluid requires fluidity. Okay, it needs to have enough water in it to where it moves, because it doesn't have a pump like the heart does. The lymphatic system works on movement. And so rebounding is one of the best things you can do to activate your lymphatic system. That's the 3.5 foot round trampoline. And you want to get the one with the long legs on it and the long springs. It's got a nice soft pad on it. And you can bounce on that 5 to 10 minutes a day. It activates on a cellular level. Every time you top out on that rebounder, every cell in your body expands. Every time you bottom out, every cell in your body compresses. So you're actually functioning on a cellular level of exercise. Now, if you're real toxic, in the first 2 to 3, 4 minutes, you may get nauseous, because it's going to pump toxins out into your blood, give you what we call a healing crisis, because now the body's got the energy, to get those toxins moving. And so then you just stop and take more water, okay, and do it again the next day. Keep working it up to like 10 minutes a day. And so that's one of the best single exercises you can do for health. And you can look it up on the internet. It's called rebounding. There's a ton of information out there on the internet on it. Okay, and again, lymphatic fluid is something we have to activate through movement or deep breathing. A deficiency in salt is equal to a deficiency of energy. Without salt, there is no life. So other benefits of sea salt: it maintains the electrolyte balance in the body, which is necessary for optimum blood circulation and overall body health. Helps in treating skin conditions like acne, dermatitis, psoriasis, etc. All of that kind of stuff. Helps in maintaining balanced levels of blood sugar. You can take a saltwater bath, detoxing. I just had a friend of mine just got some Dead Sea salt or something like that for detoxing and salt baths. So there's several things you can do there. You can also put some baking soda in the water, some of the Epsom's sea salt or Epsom salt, and there's several different ways. What we do is we've got a Ohm clay. It's a kaolin clay that's programmed with human blueprint frequencies of optimal wellness and sound frequencies. And then I put like a teaspoon or tablespoon of that in a bathtub. Then we have Tesla crystals, Ohm crystals. They're an infrared crystal, gives up energy to the body. And so I put a tablespoon of that in there also, and in one of our frequency discs, and makes it pretty nice. So it also helps alkalize the body, and then it regulates water content throughout our body. Again, I come back to that. The body needs a certain amount of osmotic pressure in the blood that holds water in the blood, and salt, unprocessed sea salt, is what creates that osmotic pressure to hold water in the blood to help keep you more hydrated. I talked to a lady yesterday. She says, "Well, I drink a lot of water." I said, "Well, drinking a lot of water and having it stay in your blood and in your body is something different. Without the osmotic pressure, you just pee it out like you do coffee. You drink a cup of coffee, you're going to pee out a little more than that. So that's kind of the way it works. So if you're chronically dehydrated, you may be suffering from symptoms of adrenal exhaustion. So if you have sugar cravings, that's something to take a look at. Dehydration, lack of salt. Salt cravings can also be dehydration and your body wanting more salt. Fatigue is not enough energy. So if you don't have enough water in your system and the salts and stuff for the communication, and you're not out in the sun enough, there's several things come into play there or out in nature, because there you get the additional electrons from the sun or from the earth from being outside. So fatigue is another one. Feeling thirsty or dehydrated, you need to drink a lot of water at one time. Again, that's chronically dehydrated, where you've exhausted your adrenal glands. Sleep issues, falling asleep, wake up in the night, or wake up early in the morning, can't go back to sleep, stuff like that. And then tension, nervousness, anxiety, or panic. All of those can be from being chronically dehydrated, not enough salt, not getting enough exercise, not getting enough sunshine, getting out in nature, We're not meant to sit behind a desk like this all day long and not have any movement. So movement is critical for health. And, everything is energy vibrating at a frequency. Everything is energy, period. And so what we're talking about here is controlling that energy vibration. And the vibration is the EMF. It's either helpful for our body or harmful for our body. Caffeine is harmful for our body. Sugar is harmful for our body. Water is healthy for our body. Sea salt, water and sea salt vibrate higher. Structured water vibrates higher than the tap water, tap water or bottled water. And so it's all about vibration. Everything is. And, your health is determined by the invisible frequency you're vibrating. No exceptions. So anti-aging with light therapy. We're going to switch over now to talking about more of the lasers and stuff along with the water. So optimize your light, your water, and your magnetism. The light from the sun is red and infrared light for a reason. It's giving life energy. Infrared light excites and optimizes the electrons in the mitochondria. And so exposing your skin to the sun stimulates the mitochondria to produce more easy water and more ATP, more energy in the body. Magnetism is simply grounding, getting out in nature. Take your shoes off, run around the dirt, walk in the grass. The red and infrared laser, green laser, and the violet laser, all mitochondria. It's all about the mitochondria health, keeping you younger and having more fun. Aging is simply too many dysfunctional mitochondria in your cells, period. And so too many sick cells because the mitochondria cannot produce enough life force energy for the cell to do its work. And that's causing about 80% of today's diseases. The more energy you have in your cells, the healthier and longer you can live. So every photon in the laser beams energetically gives up an electron into the water in our body. So that's adding free electrons, increasing your redox potential, and reducing free radicals and inflammation in our system. So all three of our lasers are about structured, microclustered ionized water, along with our hydrating ionizer here. The hydrating ionizer, you pour the water through at one time, and it structures the water, microclusters it, ionizes it, energizes it, and programs it with human blueprint frequencies. Then if you shine the lasers into the water, that's adding more life force energy, more electrons, and more human blueprint frequencies. And we've got the science, to back all it up. The beauty is people can feel it and taste it whenever they, I do an expo, I have them pour their water through the hydrating ionizer. They taste the difference big time. And then I laser it with the red laser primarily, and they taste the difference again because it's adding life force energy into the water, microclustering it, it's starting to hydrate the body through osmosis. So we're replicating sunshine and a Rocky Mountain stream with our products. So we got a full line of products to help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself naturally. When you use all of our products, your body's vibration for self-healing, you're actually upregulating your gene expression to build a healthier protein. Proteins are the expression of life because proteins are responsible for the structure and the function of your body. And you think about it, that's huge, all right? We are also stimulating stem cell production. Stem cells can, be adapted into whatever the body needs. And then we're also lengthening telomeres. And so we have two packages here where we can get you a 40 to 66% discount. And $299. Normally the laser is $299 and the hydrating ionizer is $199. Here you can get them both for $299 as a first-time guest. So just give me a call. Let me know how I can help you, help yourself, help your body heal itself. Again, Joe Blanton, and I'm here to help you do that because nobody else can vibrate for you. It's up to you to take 100% responsibility for your own health, well-being, and then everything changes at that point, and we can help you do that. So we can give you, a way of getting more life force energy in a shorter amount of time and having the structured water to help your body heal itself naturally. So if I can help at all, let me know how I can help, and we can talk then. Take care, have fun, and bye for now.